Some people think skiing is only for the rich, and that's because it is. Wait. Hold on a second. That's just what the rich people want you to believe. So we gotta stop. We gotta stop playing their games. I ski 100 days a season, and I'm not rich. Not even close to it. In fact, I've spent most of my adult life living ski in, ski out in the back of this exact pickup truck. Literally anyone can afford to ski, but it is going to cost you. Just not necessarily money. Skiing originated as a form of survival and evolved into a working class dirtbag sport. Lift tickets used to be a few bucks in the 30s and 50s, and a whole ski bum culture grew around it. Skiers young and old lived in cars, cabins, and hostels just to chase pow, and in the 60s and 70s, the ski bum archetype really cemented, with many riders hitchhiking to the mountain, working as dishwashers or instructors, and just doing whatever they could just to stay on snow. Ski bumming became a badge of honor. Then in the 80s and 2000s, skiing started to become more commercialized, and corporate greed and consumerism began to take over. Marketing became aimed at wealthy tourists, massive corporations started buying out ski resorts en masse, and lift tickets began to skyrocket. Today, ski jackets cost well over $1,000, and lift tickets can push the $300 mark. So the rich person's sport reputation is absolutely real. Who the hell can just pop out of bed on a Saturday and just take their family skiing for the day for $1,200? That's some Bezos shit. So what once started as survival became a working class and dirtbag sport got completely hijacked by luxury tourism. So why does skiing feel so expensive? Well, that's because it is. It's ridiculously expensive. It's not like running, where all you need is a pair of running shoes. Thanks to corporate greed and consumerism, this whole ski bumming thing has gotten a lot harder. But it's not impossible. There are 4 things you need to be a skier or a snowboarder: a job, mountains, gear, and lift passes. And you need them in exactly that order. If you have a trust fund, just skip the whole needing a job part and go straight to heli skiing and stop wasting all of our time. So you need a job. And no, you do not have to be a doctor, lawyer, hedge fund manager, entrepreneur. You know, all of these are the types of people you're gonna meet on a chairlift these days, but any minimum wage job and above will do. Everyone's gotta eat, and you do need some level of money to ski, even if that's just minimum wage. And not all jobs are the same in life, so you gotta be strategic with your work depending on what you prioritize in your life. Now, there are more perfect ski jobs like fishing guides, forest firefighters, tree planters, lifeguards, landscapers. These are the people who all work in the summer, and then in the winter time, they don't have to work at all. They get laid off, or they don't have work, and they can burn all their cash and time on skiing. I'd call these the S-tier jobs. These are the dream jobs for ski bums. Now, a little bit lower, kind of the mid-tier jobs, which are also great for ski bums, are like remote workers. You still make a solid income, but you can also choose your time. You know, if you're a software developer, you can work at night and you can ski in the days. You've also got great jobs if you're living at a mountain, like hospitality or waiting, bartender, ski tech, jobs maybe where you work in the evenings. And then you've got jobs where you're on the mountain, like ski patroller or ski instructor. These jobs are a little worse because they actually make you work 4 or 5 days a week, typically, and you don't get to have complete flexibility with your time. Now, the worst of all jobs are the 9-to-5 jobs that force you to show up to the office on a daily basis. And yes, I worked a 9-to-5 or at a hybrid of office and work from home, and at least I could work from home in my underwear. That was the best part about the job, but I had to sit here in this office while all of my friends were enjoying pow days. It absolutely killed me to be in some stupid dead-end meeting while everyone else was skiing powder. Nonetheless, the moral of this story is that you need to make some sort of money. Zero money won't do, but all you need is minimum wage, and you just got to be smart with it. And the amount of money that you make will determine the next key ingredient to be a skier, and that is where you live. Your proximity to the mountains is an absolute key to ski affordability. The closer you live to the mountains, the better. Some people choose to live in mountain towns and others choose to just do one unaffordable ski vacation a year. But the key to truly being a skier or snowboarder is moving close to the mountains or a mountain. The less you spend on gas and travel, the more time you spend on your skis and your snowboards. So if you choose a place to live like Vancouver, you don't even have to own a car and you can just take a bus to any of the local mountains or even get on a bus to Whistler. There are also a bunch of super cheap rideshare apps like Papa Ride where you can pitch for gas and ride with someone else. So I know some of you are probably sitting at home thinking, James, I live in Florida, I live in Manitoba, and I just can't do that. This is impossible. You might be bound to work. You might be bound to family matters. There's a million things that you might have to prioritize. But remember, you're a living, breathing adult. And if you prioritize skiing first, you can move anywhere. You can flip your life in half. You can get uncomfortable. You can quit your job, get a new crappy job, have way less money, like I said, live in complete discomfort, but hypothetically, you could move somewhere new to ski. It just isn't your number one priority for what you value in life, and that's totally fair, but you are a living, breathing adult, and you can move anywhere, anytime. And once you do move closer to the mountains, skiing becomes a whole lot cheaper. The gear. You can't ski without gear, and unfortunately, there's no workaround here. You need skis, you need boots, but unfortunately, we have been groomed by the ski industry, by the big brands, by the influencers to think that newer is always better and the next thing is always greater, and the technology is just improving so much and we're going to fall behind if we don't have the newest tech on the ski hill. And I apologize. I'm an influencer. I'm choking. I'm part of the problem. I'm super honest when it comes to gear, but I also love gear. I buy a lot of gear, probably too much gear, because I like having the newest and the greatest thing for the sport I love the most. But you don't need new gear or the best gear to ski. The skill makes the skier, not the gear. Whether it's new skis or new outerwear, brands launch new lines each and every season in order to make more money. Ski technology doesn't improve as quickly as brands claim it to improve, and crafty ski marketeers will tell you that the newest line of stuff is that much better than the old stuff, when in reality, most of your favorite brands' gear has been getting worse. Companies are making gear that doesn't actually last on purpose so they can sell you more of their newest and greatest and make more money, all while telling you that a portion of the profits go to protect our winters, when the best thing to protect our winters would just be to stop consuming altogether. But anyways, I'm not trying to get into a whole environmental rant here. That is not the point of this video. We could save that for another video. What I'm here to tell you is that you don't need new ski gear. Used ski gear is the way to go. There's this giant ski swap that spreads across the planet called Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, and you can buy everything on those platforms. If you're a beginner skier, I'd recommend buying all of your gear on Marketplace. If you're an intermediate and you're really serious about skiing, I'd always recommend getting a new properly fitted pair of ski boots because you're going to be way happier. A new unscratched pair of goggles. There's a lot of budget options for goggles now, which is really nice. And a lot of the best brands in goggles aren't that much better than some of the mid-tier brands, to be honest with you. With the goggle technology, they all use the same lenses that are made in China somewhere. And for the third thing is you're going to want to buy a helmet new. Even though they market these crazy helmet technologies, the bottom line is you want to protect your brain, so get a new helmet. Other than those three things, buy your gear used on Facebook Marketplace. You'll save so much money. I've always bought my skis used. If Nordica wasn't giving me 1 or 2 new skis per year, which I'm super grateful for, I would never buy a ski that wasn't on sale. Buy your skis on Marketplace. All skis are good these days. Buy whatever the heck is cheapest. Buy what's on sale. Look at the ski width that you want and then buy a ski within that range and find it on Marketplace. Worry about the width, the length, and then find a cheap price. And that goes across all gear, coats, everything, gloves. You can buy it all used and it's all going to work great. There's lots of people who ski 1 year and then give up on the sport. So gear is actually not as expensive as you might think. And the great thing about gear is if you buy some quality, you only have to buy it once, and try to buy from companies that repair things. You know, some companies these days don't repair things, but if they repair things, like a company like Patagonia will repair your gear forever. So if you at least buy quality, you'll know you'll have it forever because they can repair it. And don't underestimate duct tape. I always am covering my gear in duct tape. These Hestra gloves, starting to fail after 3 seasons. I got duct tape on the thumbs and the hands, but they're still surviving. Ski passes and lift tickets. Ski passes are technically optional. If you're a backcountry skier, all you need is a few extra pieces of gear and you can climb and ski wherever you want, anywhere in the world. However, for the most of us, skiing on the resort is what we prefer to do, and for me, this is my overwhelming preference, to ski on a ski resort. Lift tickets are absolutely insane these days, costing well over $300 per lift ticket at Whistler Blackcomb, and this is by design. You may as well drop your piggy bank into the cracks of doom if you're buying a single-day lift ticket. Companies like Vail and Icon have completely monopolized every piece of the ski industry to suck more money out of vacationers' pockets. But remember, you're not a vacationer, you're a skier and a snowboarder, and you can actually beat the system a little bit here. The Icon Pass is $1,329 US per year, and the Epic Pass is about $1,100 US per year. Now, this is actually cheaper than most regular seasons passes at many local mountains. Now, I'm not saying to not ski your private mountain and get an Epic or get a pass to, an Icon Pass. It's always best to buy a pass for the mountain you're going to ski the most, that is the closest to you. But what I am saying is the value for these passes is actually pretty low, and you can ski all over the US and many spots in Canada. So if you're able to get one of these multi-mountain passes, you can ski your home resort for cheaper than the cost of an old season's pass, and you can even travel a little bit here and there. A favorite game among all skiers and snowboarders is buying a season's pass or buying a multi-mountain pass like Icon and Epic, and skiing as much as you possibly can and calculating how cheap you can bring your day rate down to. And that is the secret of skiing cheap, is you have to commit to skiing hard all season long. You got to ski minimum 20, 30, 40 days, to make your ski pass well worth it compared to the day rate. So it's super fun to buy a pass for $1,500 and then go ski 30 days and get that price, much lower than the $300 day rate. It's super fun. And if you're a guy who skis or a girl who skis 60, 90 days, you're going to be laughing at how cheap that day rate can actually be. And honestly, most true skiers and snowboarders just choose one resort to spend their entire year at. That's the cheapest way to do it. Ski travel is expensive. My family never went on vacation. Every winter, we just got a ski pass to Manning Park, a small mountain in Hope, BC, and that is what we did every single Sunday. We went up, we skied. We never went on a winter vacation for a week. That was our priority. We went and we skied the same mountain every single time. We didn't really visit anywhere else very often at all. It's okay to ski one mountain all the time. You can find ways to have a lot of fun at one single hill, and then maybe you can move or you can switch mountains every couple years to ski something different. So now that you understand the 4 things that you need to be a skier: a job, to be near the mountains, you need gear, and you need a ski pass, you're probably still thinking, this is still really, really expensive. And you're not wrong. It's not free. Like I said, it's not free, but here's where the secret comes in. It's called prioritization. Prioritization is a word that diehard skiers and snowboarders understand more than anyone else. Skiing is a lifestyle choice, and if you want it to be affordable, you have to commit your life to it. It has to be your thing. You may think you don't have enough disposable income, but in reality, you just don't budget your entire lifestyle around skiing. Yes, your friends and family might think you're crazy and you might miss out on regular stuff people are doing, but skiing and snowboarding is a lifestyle choice, and your budgeting has to reflect the importance of it. You would be absolutely shocked if you took a look at your random expenditures: eating out, alcohol, streaming subscriptions, phone bills, entertainment. I actually still even know skiers who don't even have a cell phone because they need to save money to live and ski and enjoy their winters. So, right, it's just budgeting based off how much you need to actually ski. I've taken complete summers where I've dropped my apartment rent and lived out of my truck in order to save extra money for the ski season. And God forbid, never, ever, ever buy any food from the lodge. Never. Anyways, anything is possible if you prioritize your entire life around skiing. Lastly, yes, it's harder than ever to be a skier or even just live a normal life now than any time throughout history. Most of us can barely afford rent, but nothing is impossible for us to do. You have to change your mindset from I can't do something to how can I do something. And making that fundamental shift will not only help you ski more, but also make a lot of positive changes in your life in general. So let's summarize this video and round up my top 10 tips for anyone who wants to ski cheap. 1, prioritize skiing. 2, have a job. 3, move to the mountains. 4, buy used gear, keep it until it's destroyed, and repair it when you can. 5, buy a season's pass and never buy lift tickets. 6, always pack a lunch, always. 7, carpool with friends, take public transportation, or use cool apps like Pop a Ride. 8, sleep in your car if you're going on a ski trip. You already have ski clothes to keep you warm. All you need is a good sleeping bag, and everyone needs a good sleeping bag. 9, stop making excuses and start making sacrifices. And 10, ski as much as possible. The more you ski, especially if you have a season's pass, the cheaper your ski day becomes and the more fun that you have. So, is there anything that we can do to save the ski industry? And sadly, the answer is no. I don't think we'll ever experience skiing like it was for our grandfathers and our fathers. The ski industry is never going to be the same, but it is what it is, and we just need to make the best of it however we can, given the cards that were dealt. And I think now more than ever, we should really, really enjoy and have a fun time on the mountains because the snow and glaciers are melting. They're not going to last forever. And also, AI and robots might take over by 2027. So blow all your money on ski and pow.